Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a really powerful story from the Quran. It's about a wise messenger, a civilization of incredible mountain carvers, and a timeless lesson about what happens when pride gets in the way. So let's get right into it.
And this is really the central question we're going to explore. We're going to look at it through the story of the people of Thamud. You see, they were a people whose amazing skill at carving mountains was, in the end, matched only by their own towering arrogance.
So, who exactly were the Thamud? Well, I want you to picture an ancient, incredibly prosperous Arab tribe. I mean, these people were so advanced, they could carve these magnificent, sprawling homes directly into solid rock. But their very success, their total mastery over their environment, it kind of led them down a path where they started to forget where all their blessings actually came from. And that led them to reject divine guidance. The story kicks off with this really powerful statement. Now, what's fascinating here is that only one prophet, Salih, was sent to them. But the verse says they denied the messengers, plural. The source explains that this is because all prophets, they all carry the same core message of truth. So by rejecting Salih, they were, in essence, rejecting the universal truth that had been brought by all the messengers who came before him. So you have this wall of pride. How did their messenger, Saleh, even begin to try and break through it? Well, his approach wasn't about force. It wasn't about intimidation. It was a masterclass in building credibility and trust, right from the ground up. And this point is absolutely crucial. The Quran calls Saleh their brother. He wasn't some stranger, some outsider who just showed up one day. No, he was one of them. Same tribe, same lineage, they had known him his whole life. This created a deep, personal connection that made it so much harder for them to just write off his message. The very first question he asks them is, "Will you not fear Allah?" This was a call to develop what's known as taqwa, or God consciousness. And it's not just about fear. It's a profound awareness of God's presence, something that makes the heart open and receptive to guidance. Without that first step, nothing else he was about to say would have even landed. Next, he lays out his credentials very clearly. He says he's a Rasul, a messenger carrying a divine mission. But, and this is just as important, he reminds them that he is Amin, which means trustworthy. He was basically leaning on a quality they already knew he had. It's like he was saying, look, you already know my character. You know I'm honest. Now listen to my message. Okay, so with that foundation of trust in place, Salah delivers his core message. And what's so remarkable about it is just how simple it is and the absolute sincerity behind it. His entire message really boils down to two things: fear Allah and obey me. What's so brilliant about this is how it connects that internal state of God consciousness, that taqwa, to the external action of obedience. It's cause and effect. One flows directly from the other, making it a perfectly clear and logical request. And then, right away, he removes any possible suspicion about his motives. He makes it crystal clear. He wants no money, no status, no power from them. And this was a huge deal, because back then, false prophets were often just looking for personal gain. Saleh was saying, my only agenda here is to deliver the truth, period. All right, now this is where Salih's argument gets really, really smart. He completely shifts his focus and starts using the Thamud's own success as a kind of mirror to show them their own spiritual blindness. He hits them with this piercing, rhetorical question. Will you be left secure in what is here? He's asking them, do you honestly believe all this stuff, your wealth, your power, your fortresses carved in stone, is going to last forever? It's a direct shot at their feeling of being invincible. Then he starts listing their blessings. I mean, you have to remember, in a dry, arid land, they had lush gardens, flowing springs, endless crops, and date palms with fruit so perfect it was described as soft and tender. These were incredible, unbelievable gifts. They were meant to inspire gratitude, not a sense of entitlement. And this gets to the very heart of the issue. He points to their single greatest achievement, their unique power. And you carve homes from the mountains with skill. This was their pride and joy, their symbol of power, but he frames it as a question, almost suggesting that this very skill had become the source of their arrogance, the root of their spiritual downfall. So, after reminding them of who he is, what he's asking for, and everything they've been given, Salih brings his entire argument full circle with one last, powerful rhetorical move. He repeats his initial message, the exact same words, but this time,
it carries so much more weight. See, it's not just a request anymore. Now, it's the logical conclusion. He's basically saying, because of all these blessings, therefore, you should fear Allah and obey me. He's connecting gratitude directly to obedience.
You know, this story really reveals this clear three-step pattern in prophetic communication. First, you establish credibility. Second, you remind people of their blessings to kind of soften their hearts. And then third, you call them to accountability, tying those blessings directly to their responsibilities. At the end of the day, the story of the Thamud isn't just some piece of ancient history. It's a timeless warning that our greatest successes in this world, they're not a guarantee of security. They are, in fact, a profound test of our humility. And really, that leaves us with this final thought. It's a question that was relevant for the mountain carvers, and it's just as relevant for us today. When we are blessed with our own skills, with our own successes, where does that lead our hearts? Does it lead us towards gratitude? Or does it lead us towards a dangerous and false sense of our own security?